What's going on, guys? We are back with the top 10 players of 2017, and we are at number 7, Garrettg. The hardest name to spell in esports, but here's a little tip for you guys in case you're wondering. 2 G's, 2 R's, 2 T's. Very simple. It's Garrettg. And Community Spotlight, training your instincts right there in the bottom right-hand corner. Anyway, we're talking about Garrett. And 2017 was a year of change for Garrett. He went from 2016 being on Exodus. He was my number 9 player of 2016, moving up 2 spots as he joins the powerhouse that was NRG. And he saw some of the highest highs on energy and some of the lowest lows on energy throughout the season. It started off amazing. They win another North America Regional Championship in season number 3. And he also led NRG. Like, it was a very tumultuous time for them. They were, when they first got together, it looked a little sketchy. But right before RLCS, they finally clicked. Garrett had to change his entire playstyle. He went from being a hard carry on Exodus to more of a third-man role on NRG. And honestly, throughout the year, that molded back into a little bit more of a carry for NRG. He started moving up a lot more and not being that third role towards the end. But Garrett is one of the most versatile players, I feel like, in Rocket League, who can, he's probably one of the few players that can go from that, like, high impact, like, I will take the ball every single opportunity, to always letting his teammates take the ball and just playing that third man role. And I think it's one of the things that Kronovi, by the end of the year, has finally figured out a little bit. He's being a little bit more of a supportive player compared to always wanting the ball. But Garrettg, like, that clicked immediately. He figured out how to do that extremely quickly and became one of the best third men in the entire world at the same time. But, of course, season number 3 was fantastic for NRG. They were number 1 in North America. They finished in 3rd place, and he led NRG in goals and shots at Season 3 LAN, and also at X Games, where NRG finally got a championship win for themselves. And obviously, that was the highest high they could possibly have. But Garrettg was, like, he's one of those players at every single World Championship. I expect him to pop off. In Season 1 and Season 2, he averaged 1 goal per game on a team of Exodus that never really did anything. Like, at the World Championships, he had to carry them really hard. And then, of course, the 3rd place in Season number 3. The problem is, he would have been probably a lot higher on my list if he would have performed at the Season 4 World Championship. I felt like it was a very disappointing performance from Garrett, and he went from, like, one of my all-time, like, certified LAN boys right near the top of the list for World Championship play to a little bit further down. I mean, he's still a certified LAN boy, but he did have a really poor LAN. He had, in that Method series, you could almost fault him for 2 very easy goals, or at least, like, easy for Garrettg. And he missed both of them, didn't even touch the ball on either of those aerials. One of them, his teammate Fireburner made up for it and scored the goal, but the other one could have sent, I believe it was Game 5 into overtime versus Method, and it did not happen. So he probably was not too happy about that. And then, of course, they came in 9th place after their 3rd place finish, their worst finish at a World Championship yet. So it wasn't too great for them when they ended the year. But let's not forget about the X Games, where they won that, and they've been pretty dominant. They even DreamHack Atlanta, they had a tough bracket. They had to face the Muffin Men in the very first round, and the Muffin Men wound up winning the entire thing. They could have made a much larger run there, maybe the grand final appearance, maybe just to the semis if they played some of these other teams. But Garrettg is always one of those players that I can trust. On NRG, like, I feel like he continues to grow. While, like, I feel in a little bit of a way, like, Fireburner and Jacob have kind of, like, I don't want to say plateaued. Like, I think they are still getting better, but they're not growing at the same rate that Garrettg is. I still think Garrettg is one of the best players in the world right now, and he continues to prove it. Just had a very disappointing finish to season number 4. They didn't, NRG didn't have the greatest league play either. They were just middle of the road team, but they did make World Championships. I expect them to do the same thing again in season number 5. But Garrettg, one of my favorite players to watch just because of how versatile he is. Again, he used to play the first man up for Exodus, going for every single play, to kind of defaulting to Jacob and Fireburn and letting them do what they want, and then cleanup time was Garrettg time, basically. And now he's starting to move back up again because Energy realized they need more offensive power, so they moved Garrettg back up, and he's starting to work in there as well. But I want to see where this team takes it in 2018. Now that they've had a full year under their belt, we'll see where Garrettg kind of fits into the mold and see if they try any changes, like any roster changes even, which, like, there's rumors that it could possibly happen, but I don't think Garrettg's going anywhere, as you can see with a shot like that. Probably not going anywhere anytime soon. But I'm really excited to see what Garrett brings in 2018. I felt like he grew probably the most in 2016, and then in 2017, he just keeps growing. He keeps getting better. Definitely in the top 3 for North America players. Could have an argument that he's the best in North America still, but he gets my number 7 spot mostly because of the disappointing finish. He could have been a lot higher, but his disappointing finish at the Season 4 World Championship, it also cost them an E-League spot. Of course, that's not only on him, that's on his whole team, but he didn't do too hot. Not what I expected from a certified land boy, that's for sure. But Garrettg, one of my favorite players to watch. He gets that number 7 spot. And Energy in 2018, you should expect them to be once again going to the World Championship in what people say is the easier region in North America. And Energy is always going to be one of those big 3 until proven otherwise. So I expect to see them back, and I expect to see Garrett reclaim that certified land boy status. And, yeah, that's my number 7 pick, Garrettg. Oh, and let's not forget about Gnarly. They also got a 3rd place finish in that. So, they did pretty good for themselves. But that's it for Energy. And for Garrettg, he's the only one from Energy on this list. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in a couple days for number 6.